Happy Thursday, everybody. I have Jordan, aka J Mill, aka Jumping with Jay over here. And I also have Yarania, aka Yaya, aka Hot Dog Dora. All right, so I have a Zoom going and I have this going. So, but my attention is really going to be on the Zoom and I'm recording this. So if you just want to listen to the audio, then you can listen to the audio. And I wanted to do a little bit more of a deep dive on the ginger, turmeric, lemon on an emotional and psychological level. Okay. And before I preface this, I want to start off with you don't have to believe anything I'm saying, but if you're unwilling to try, then you don't know. And that's what this is really about, bringing people into knowing and showing them the different connections. If you choose to put on that lens, if you choose to put on that perspective. And yesterday, Jordan inspired this, right? Inspired it because I watched what happened when she ate the ginger, turmeric, and lemon, and things that me and Yadania have been talking about around the ginger, turmeric, and lemon. So if you want to listen, I made a part one when we were with Avi.
Yeah.
So if you want to listen to part one, you can. I'm going to take this a little bit different in terms of making it more concrete in terms of emotional and psychological. Again, you don't have to believe what it is that I'm saying, but if you try it on and see, then you'll eventually understand what it is that I'm doing and why I'm saying it's deeper than just eating ginger, turmeric, and lemon. And it'll make more sense if you listen to part one, because I talk about one of the traditions that I study and I practice and live by is the Shipibo tradition, which is very similar to different parts of Native American tradition where plants are our teachers. So I'm going to use Jordan. She doesn't even know what I'm going to tell her. And I'm going to tell everyone this. I have a tobacco because I want them to know, both Jordan and Ya, that this conversation is rooted in love. And I know that Jordan, through getting to know her, she likes to be coached. And she understands when I have these types of conversations with her, it's never coming from a place of you're wrong, you're fucked up, you're dysfunctional. It's more coming from a place of coaching. And me and her have had a lot of really great conversations over the time I've got to know her. And it's really, if you're playing basketball and you're doing something wrong, the coach is going to say, hey, stop doing this. Try this, here's why. And if it works, then we're going to keep working at that. Okay. So that's where like all this is, even with Yadania, using some of these examples so you can see that I'm not just saying these things to say these things, that I'm watching certain things happen for the people that do this, but the psychological or emotional blockages that are hard for people. Good? You got that? Are you nervous a little bit?
A little bit. I would be.
Oh God.
I'm going to use some examples for you, but
Yeah.
she's here a lot. So then I've already kind of talked to her about what the GTL is bringing up for her, right? Okay, so the first thing is when Jordan ate it was a very harsh reaction. It was like, I don't like this. It's gross. It's cheeks.
Cheeks.
Which is crazy because how do you know what cheeks taste like? Anyway, different protection podcast. Anyways, and so then she did her thing, and it was an amazing video, right? But then after you left, I talked to Yadani about, I'm going to talk to Jordan. That's why I put up that post, because I was like, I want to go deep dive, but I only want to go deep dive if people are open to it. And it's not a surprise to me. You're one of the people that voted the deep dive, right? So one of the things that I've been talking to people about this is there's a reason that we're doing the GTL in its raw form. And that's what this conversation is really rooted in, is its raw form. And retuning your relationship to what healthy actually is. So even for me personally, what has transpired over the past few weeks since I've been doing this was when you retune your relationship to what healthy is, the first thing is you have to get over the discomfort or the, oh, this is gross, or oh, this is hard, or oh, this is whatever, and let your body settle into that. And most people, which is why the nation is the sickest it's ever been, not only physically, emotionally, psychologically, but even our relationship to working out, our relationship to health, our relationship to food, our relationship to our body, right? Our relationship to our image, our relationship to our voice, or our own skill sets, right? So, for example, just real quick, we were talking about music, and the first thing Jordan said was, I wish I was good at music." And I'm like, "You are good at music. What are you talking
Mhm.
about?" But then my second thought is, "Have you even tried?" The third thought was, "But how long and how consistent did you try for?" Or did you give up the first time it got hard or uncomfortable? Or did you allow yourself the time to retune your listening, your skill sets, the practices, so you can get good at quote unquote music? But that's what we do with everything, right? Now, that's one of the examples I'm going to use with Jordan today, because her relationship to her ability to make music is a negative one. But in every single one of us, we have the ability to make music. But what stops us is our own self judgment and our own, I'm not as good as this person. I'm not going to be this. I'm not going to be that. So then we stop. To bring in the jump rope, how many people try jump rope once or twice and they say they're not good at it and they quit? But they see you and they're like, well, if I'm not going to jump like Jordan, then I don't want to do it. If I can't run like Yadania, I don't want to do it. If I can't do breath work like Joey, then I don't want to do it. It's like, that's, but do you understand how much time you put into it? But that was a process. And so with anything when it comes to the health and the wellness, it's a process. Now, the fine tuning is when you have a negative reaction to something that's natural. Part of it, I don't want to get too deep into this, is like the tongue is that portion of it. And because of the world that we've grown up in relationship to health, fitness, upbringing, things we eat, things that, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that we've been programmed to like, when something that is raw and natural hits your taste buds, you instantly reject it. But on a psychological, emotional level, when things are healthy, when things are safe, when things are reciprocal, when things are a healthy form of love or affection or coaching or friendship, I don't like this. I'm used to drama or loudness or gossiping or fighting or arguing, right? So, oh, that's what's normal. But what happens is when we strip away those things and let ourselves, okay, let me retune or refine, we realize, damn, I actually was in a dysfunctional relationship with my body or friendship or loved ones or work life or whatever. But we've grown so accustomed to, oh, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and that's what tastes good or that's what's healthy for me. And when I started practicing fasting in 2017, that's when I gave up protein bars, protein shakes, any supplements, because after I gave those things up and I did a water day, 7 day water fast, and I started to like reintroduce these things into my body, I could immediately feel inflammation. I was like, damn, what's going to happen to my muscles? Oh, what's going to happen to
Mm.
my chest? What's going to happen to my bicep? And I was like, oh, I'm addicted to that because that's what I think I need to do or need to be. And the farther and farther away that I've got from it, it's like I had to let go and reorient my relationship to not only my body, how it looks, how it doesn't look. And what, especially in the world of health and fitness, very rare people are 100% natural. And I don't mean bodybuilder, gym bro, oh, I'm natural, look how buff I am. I mean, I don't put anything unnatural like into my body. You know what I mean? I'm not doing those things. And when Jordan had the ginger reaction, I was like, oh, you know what? Because when we talk about doing it raw, because some people are gonna be like, well, I do the ginger and the turmeric, but I just don't do it raw. And I said, well, then you're not doing it. You're adding to something to make it taste better. And one of our clients, who I'm not going to mention, I had a whole conversation around, hey, she was like, because oh, I'm doing the GTO, but I blend it like this, and she looked at me, she's like, oh, that doesn't count. I said, not for me. And then I tied it to, but look what you do on the treadmill. Look what you do in the sauna. Look what you do in the ice. Look what you do in the workouts. You're always trying to change it to make it more comfortable versus allowing the discomfort to teach you, refine you, reshape you, and then you change your relationship to it. It doesn't mean you have to, for the rest of your life, only do it, right? It doesn't mean for the rest of your life you have to run on the treadmill or pour tires or do sauna or ice or practice the breath work. But what happens is when you let it take hold of you, when you don't do it, you're like, I feel off, or I don't feel uh, I don't have as much vitality. I don't feel as open. I don't feel as creative. I don't feel as adaptable, right? So the part of that was like, oh, Jordan's meeting the ginger with immediate resistance, but knowing Jordan, right? That's when we talk about the 6F course, we talk about working out with no shoes or socks. And before I caught her, after that, she came in here. She did 2 weeks working out with Yaya, right? Because Jordan's really kind of transforming her relationship to her health, her wellness, her identity as a coach, and the things she teaches and shares. She's expanding, she's growing, she's transforming. I fucking go out there and this bitch has got her shoes on. And I was like, and so then we had a whole conversation around it. I had to light her ass up. And she's like, yeah, you're right, you're right. So then I fucking leave for 30 goddamn seconds. I come in the office, I go back out, and she's got her fucking socks on. And I look at her, she's like, socks too? I was like, yes! What are we doing? Yes!
So that.
Right? And then she did it, which is, again, the thing that I really have enjoyed being around Jordan and working with Jordan, is that she will rise to the occasion. She will take on new things, but what happens is she'll get better at not being so stubborn or going back to what's most comfortable or what's the next phase of learning. So it was like, hey, she's only here twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. So those are the 3 days she should practice what it is that she's learning. But this is an emotional and psychological, let me just go to what's comfortable. Let me grab the rope. Let me grab my shoes. Let me do the same kettlebell exercise that I've always been doing versus asking for help, asking for a different way, right? So then it makes that journey not only more difficult, it makes it, you're not actually making any progress. You're not allowing yourself to retune. Damn, it actually kind of feels good to have my dogs out on the floor or run or jump or whatever. Get the grippers out. And but again, to your credit, you'll do it. But is it met with, man, this ginger's cheeks, like, because now we want to psychologically frame that or emotionally frame that is, if there's something that is uncomfortable, but I know that's healthy for me, is there resistance there? Do I immediately go to a negative thought? Do I immediately go to negative thinking? Do I immediately go to, I hate this? But that's people's experience, like I talked about with our client. That's people's experience with sauna, with ice, with running, with tires. How many people do it with jump rope? How many people, I want to go to run club, but I don't want to be the slowest. Why are you saying you're going to be the slowest? That's not even a part of it. Why is your immediate thought, you're already putting that out there?
Right.
Because, and then for me, it was like, oh, when I started doing this, I was like, oh, because it only took me 1 day to realize that's what I was doing. So that's why now every time I eat it, I start off with a prayer. Help open me up. Help me, get to the roots of my issues. Help me reclaim my thinking. Like, open me up. And to do that, it's always going to be a little uncomfortable. It's always going to be a little spicy, and it doesn't ever really taste good. Now, for me, it's gotten better, but that's where Jacob was making fun of me, and he was like, oh, why don't you crave normal foods like the rest of us? Because something in me was craving ginger and turmeric. And I never ate it raw before. I always would juice it. I would always blend it. So that's where I'm like, yeah, I've done that. What I'm about is natural, raw, to retune what it is that you're doing. Later on down the road, now you can add a little something. Now, if you want to blend it, but now you've developed that relationship to something that's healthy, raw, and natural. Now you have better discernment of what's for you, what's not. But this will vibrate into the rest of your life when it comes to, for example, I put up here, natural. Another way to say it is natural is no artificials, like no preservatives. Now, I'm not on team go raw, vegan, organic. I'm not that. because I'm looking at different people's lives and living situations. The juicing, right? It just takes so long. And now Yadania is experiencing that. I said, that's why I don't want to juice. It just takes too long. So, hey, if it's going to take me 5 minutes of being uncomfortable and eating the ginger, the turmeric, and the lemon, I'd rather do that than 45 minutes of a whole juicing fiasco.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, well, if I get on wear the toe spacers and I start doing this toe stuff, right now it's uncomfortable. But 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years down the road, I'm not going to have these injuries. I'm not going to have these problems. So it's better for me to do this now than do it down the road. And that's where, like Yadania, in her relationship to her body, her weight loss, her strength, her running, like it was a natural process, but it took you about a year. And that's slowly getting better for her the more she gets back to just in a natural way. It's not natural for us to be anxious or stressed or worried or caught negative thinking. It's not natural for us to be depressed. It's not natural to pump our body full of fake nonsense.
Yeah.
Now, some people that have gone through Genesis, some females. So both on I was on Travis's podcast, MPTI, and most people in the health and the fitness world are addicted big time. And I talked to him about this on the podcast. I said, all you motherfucking bodybuilders and fitness coaches and health coaches, you're talking about health and wellness and this, but you won't even address your own addictions. So what if I told you 0 supplements and all you can drink is water for an entire year? What's going to happen to you? You're going to come unfucking glued. You're going to struggle with the psychological, all that. And it's like, but I've done that. And I know how you're going to feel. I know what happens when you got to give up certain things like caffeine or sugar or protein bars or creatine. I've gone through that. And with my tools, I was like, damn, these are all things that are propping up. They're propping me up. It's fake confidence. It's fake integrity. It's fake health. It's fake wellness. Now, again, I'm not saying people can't do these things. What I'm saying is get to the raw natural form so you can bring up real uncomfortable things or emotional things or identifying psychological obstacles or emotional obstacles that are we just constantly mask. So then for me, when I'm working with people, I try to strip things away first. Why? To get to your natural form. When you do that, you start craving different types of foods or drinks, different people to be around. You crave even a different type of an attention. And you're like, wow, I'm actually just an attention whore. And I don't really like that. But what I really like is sitting with 2 of the closest women I have in my life and having an open conversation. Whoever watches it or not doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to talk to you guys about this regardless. Right. So then with some women, I've said, okay, we'll go 6 months with no makeup. Go 6 months with no nails. Go 6 months without buying new clothes. Go see what, and you're already tweaking right now, right? You're already tweaking, right? But that's what it brings up.
Yeah.
Because then you have women, and this is the dysfunction of the world. It's like you got to have fake tits, fake ass, fake eyelashes, fake whatever you do to your face and body because you're trying to live up to an unnatural beauty standard. I'm not saying you can't do those things, right? I have my own opinions and views on that. But if you can't go, if I were to say 2 weeks with all that, you're going to really see what actually comes up.
Yeah.
And what happens? You crumble because you realize, dang, who am I without these things? That's why for me, it's like I love being me because I'm 100% natural. I got the nasal strip, the Crocs, like it doesn't matter. All I do is put natural things in my body. This tobacco has no additives. It has no extra toxins. It's 100% natural from Mother Earth. It's natural. All the things, and here's what happens. The closer you get to being natural, the more unhealthy people are going to reject you. You're going to attract the healthy people, but the unhealthy people are going to reject you and make you think you're wrong. So, for example, just even in my ceremonial life, peyote grows right natural. Mushrooms, right natural. Wachuma, natural. Ayahuasca, natural. These are just natural things. These are just natural plants. Marijuana is a natural plant. How you pick and choose and use these things will determine if you're out of balance with it.
Yeah.
Which healthy things can be out of balance. They can send you into your own psychosis. That's why the sauna or the ice bath or the breath work, like it got to the point where when I wouldn't do it, it would send me into like anxiety and stress. And I was like, oh, I'm doing my whole diction thing again. Oh, I can't have a good day if I don't do breath work. I can't have a good day if I don't do sauna. But guess what? I can hide underneath. Oh, it's healthy. Oh, it's this. Oh, so let me do it every single day. It's like, no, I'm rigid now. I'm rigid and I'm dogmatic about it. So that's why for us or for me when I'm sharing this, it's try these things on. How do you know if you go, I would say 40 days in a row of doing ginger, turmeric, lemon in its raw form, 40 days in a row without miss, you will have no idea how that's going to transform your life. Mm. But you got to do it. You got to show up and see. That's integrity, right? Same thing, whether we frame it as jump roping or working out or running or whatever, going to bed on time. Well, how do you know? And for you as a coach or a guide, teacher, friend, mentor, it's like, man, I do these challenges all the time. I do it all the time. And Yadani was like, how do you know all this stuff? I said, because I did it for a year. I was juicing religiously for a year. I was like, bro, this is just too much. And I reduced it down to the things that gave me the most amount of life. Red chard, beets, turmeric, ginger. So it's like, I'll just eat red chard regular. Now we're doing the beets. And all we need to do is juice beets. Why? Because I just eat the GTL raw, right? And it's not only detoxifying, it's opening up your vasodilation, so your blood vessels, the circulation, and you're getting more in tune with your natural way of thinking. You're getting more in tune with your natural way of tasting, right? You're getting more in tune with actually this environment or these people or these things. It's like, oh, I have so many people that come in here, and I'm sure you can attest to this. The days that you come in here and the days that you don't, when you leave here, you're always in a better mood. You're always more positive. And it's like, that's everyone that comes in here. Now, some people don't like me anymore. And so they'll say other things about me. But it's like, no, man, you weren't saying that 6 months ago. You weren't saying that when you're changing your life. Yeah. And if you come in here, all we do is things that are natural. Working out, walking, running, jogging, breathing, slowing down, sauna, ice. Like, it's just natural, 100% natural. But what's hard is to sustain it and to let it take over your life. And so then that was like one of the notes is like, if you went just natural, right? You're untangling things that you have morphed into your life, things that you have sickened yourself by not retuning it. So then there are things now that I don't even like eating anymore. There's things that I don't like watching anymore. There's things I don't like listening to anymore. When I got back from the jungle the first time on dieta, because I couldn't listen to no music that was like anything emotionally uplifting or upcharging, when I started trying to go back to listen to it, I was like, oh man, it makes me feel, it's giving me a different thing because it's not natural for me to feel that charged up. And we talked about this, about the whole Kendrick, DMX, Drake, all the battles. It's like, man, I love it. But I didn't continuously listen. I was like, I'm not even going to download it because it's not good for me to feel like that. But I would have never known that if I didn't remove it for 3 months living in isolation, where it's like, oh, yeah, I kind of like feeling like this. Now, does that mean I don't ever listen to rap music? No, depending on the day or the mood, or it's really when I'm working out. I need a little juice sometimes, right? But it's not all day, every day. Sometimes I'll go down to freaking West Phoenix and eat a glizzy. It's not all day, every day, right? Blizzard to the dome. And so then really the GTL is getting yourself back to, what is my relationship to natural, my natural self, my natural body? Or do I always have to add things? Do I always have to, yeah, well, let me add this versus, well, why can't you just love yourself for who you are? And especially with the women in your body and stretch marks and, different body parts being certain sizes. Like, can you actually just, but what about just your natural body? Or for the rest of your life, are you going to get caught in this loop that is unnatural? That doesn't mean it's not acceptable, but just because it's acceptable, everything that's natural, people reject. So that's the whole Native American ceremonial thing. All we ever did was everything that was natural. And I don't want to get into that conversation right now, but everything that we did was taken from us. And all we were doing is being natural. And if you go to every culture around the world, it's all natural. Song, dance, prayer, fire, plants, herbs, things that give you a psychedelic experience, things that take you into different parts of our own inner world and outer world that we've been doing for thousands of years. just natural. And so for me, with like the GTL, it's like, well, what's natural? People reject healthy. People reject, we're trying to slow you down, or we're trying to correct your running technique, or we're trying to challenge you and get your feet on the ground, get them grippers out, right? It's like, again, it doesn't mean it's all day, every day, but it's a chance for you to observe your thoughts psychologically, emotionally when something healthy approaches. Again, healthy friendship, healthy relationships, healthy conversations, healthy food, healthy images, healthy conversation, healthy support, right? That's where me and you were talking about the other day, where it's like most women are petty as fuck. They're friends with you on the outside, but deep down inside, they want to see you fucking fail. And that's what you're saying. We like Jordan. Like, you're not in, we're not in competition with you, right? It's like, oh, there's a different warmth to Jordan. There's a different support to Jordan, where Jordan wants to see us succeed and we want to see Jordan succeed. And part of that is getting coached and asking for help. Or you know what? I'm on OPT, grippers out. Right? And then part of it is, can you begin to do some of these things without being quote unquote told? Right. So shout out Kenny, because he went out and bought GTL and started sending me pictures. Because it's, can you do that when no one else is looking? Now, for the time being, you might need some help and you might need some support. But all the things that I've just talked about in this whole session right now, I did when no one else was looking, over and over and over and over and over and over again. So then I can actually see if it's for me or not. How do I know what's healthy for me if I don't, if the second I eat something that's healthy and raw, my body instantly rejects it? It's like, man, I got a lot of poison. And we joke around a lot. It's like, man, do you have those types of reactions to GTL? Pfft, I already know your shit sideways, right? And what's funny is the people that had similar reactions to you all have a thread of performers. You want to be performers. But it's like, you can't, when it's natural, it ain't about performance. It's like, fuck. Because I can't run, I can't hide.
Yeah.
But
Just
you just got to do it,
yeah.
you know? And again, it's not about you have to do it every single day, but it's like, well, wait, let's fine tune it first. But again, if you went 2 weeks with no makeup, no hair, no nails, no nothing, doesn't mean you got to do it forever, but just see. But it's scary, it's hard, it's uncomfortable. It's like, damn, I'm stripping away everything. And that, because what happens? You get to the roots. That's like the ginger and turmeric teach me, getting to the roots, getting to the roots. And even for me, it's like, it's easier for me to never talk about this. It's easier for me to never share this. It's easier for me to just let people be people. But if I have people in my life that I love and my support, one of my purposes that gives me vitality and follow through and adds to my wholeness, prosperity, ultimate self-belief is sharing things like this. Because it's not just ginger, turmeric, lemon. That's surface, that's shallow. And that's what we talk about, like your heart. That's your connection to music. But if like you just get in there and dig it and cultivate it and bring it to the surface, that's going to shine. That's who you are now. That's why it was like, what are you not musical, Jordan? What are you fucking talking about? But all right, that's like, but do it every single day for 40 days. And I guarantee you, where your musicality now to where it is going to be completely different. How do you think I learned how to play the flute or the juzang or the bowls or the drums? No one taught me. I just played every single day. I ate GTL every single day. And I was like, damn, it's changing my thinking. Damn, it's changing like so much about me. But if I would have done the first time, because my first time was like, damn, this is fucking hot. But guess what happens when you eat something hot? Your heart opens up on a physiological level, vasodilation. I'm sweating a little bit. I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, okay, I can get past this heat. I can get past this. I was like, cool. And now it's not as hard as I thought. And now it's really not hot at all. I eat it 3 times a day. Because guess what? My body's craving it now. And I love how it makes me feel. I love how natural things make me feel. And when we're met with negativity or self-doubt, all those different things, that's not how we're naturally supposed to be thinking. Or if I'm constantly injecting myself with Botox and eyelashes and tits and ass and fake supplements and all these different things, that's not natural. I'm not saying it's bad, but unless you strip it all away, you're always going to be out of integrity because you're speaking from a place of not knowing. That's what that is. It's like you're inviting in, let me see what this is about. And if I did a little 40-day GTL challenge, or if I did a no makeup, no whatever I'm just talking about, that's just a simple example. Now when you're talking with someone, when you're connecting with someone, you're like, damn, that was me too. That's why there's a lot of grace now. It's like, yeah, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. I mean, if you come through here, we're going to do a mukbang. But if you decide not to do that, and you're starting to have these issues, it's like, nah, man, you don't even want to do the GTL 40-day challenge. What makes me think you're ever going to lose 50 pounds? It's like, or what's ever going to make me think you take on the jump roping or the running? Yeah, of course I know you're not going to run at 120-degree heat because you won't even eat GTL. But for me, where it goes at different levels, it's like, man, I could tell you to eat the GTL 48 days in a row, or I could tell you to do water fasting. You're not going to do either one. You're going to think either one's crazy. It's like fasting is actually natural. Like what it does for your cells, what it does for your blood, what it does for your brain. And we didn't eat every single day, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day. We ate once or twice a week, sometimes 2 weeks, because we're hunting or we ran out of food or people stole our food. Like fasting is a natural way. Now things have evolved and we live in a different world, so you can adapt. But for me, it's more like, hey man, the GTL is just a representation of other areas of your life if you choose to think it that way or embrace that. You're like, damn, I'm having a ginger moment right now. I want to keep my shoes on. I don't really want to eat the ginger, so yeah, just keep it. Right? And that's how you take these things and you bring the plants into your life. Damn, I'm having a GTL moment. Damn, and we talked about this slicing up the beets and all that. It's like, yeah, dude,
Yeah.
but like that's you got to do it.
Yeah.
And you got to get in the ice. And I told her, I said, you know what's crazy is every time we put you up to a challenge, the GTL, the ginger, right? Was your victory breath. Who? Me? Hey, all I'm doing is asking you to breathe naturally. And you wanted to immediately shut down or reject it or think it's too hard or I'm going to look stupid or this is fucking dumb. This is fucking bullshit. I'm fighting for my life, right? But then you do it. And I saw you doing the breath work with Yaya. I told you about that. I was like, she's doing it.
Yeah.
But the part for you is you just can't be so stubborn, right? You got to be more malleable. You got to be more adaptable to things that are healthy for you, even if they're uncomfortable, even if they quote unquote don't taste good at first. Because the part is, hey, jump roping doesn't feel good for most people at first. But guess what? They got to push through it. Maybe they got to slow down and make some adjustments. But it's like, if I came to you for jump roping, like, hey, I want to learn this crisscross step, and I start doing my own shit. Jordan, I'm kind of doing it. Look, I'm doing the jumping. And you're like, bitch, you ain't doing it. That is not what I asked you to do.
Right.
So that's you become a more influential coach that's rooted in integrity. Because guess what? Jumping's natural. Maybe not with the rope, but jumping is natural. Right. And so yeah, a lot came up for me when I was in here with you guys. I was like, damn, dude, I'm about to go deep dive with Jordan. And it's easier to do things that are easier. It's easier to do things that taste better, that artificial, add sugar, additives, etc. And we reject immediately what's natural. And natural, another way to say it is like cohesive or flow with a cycle, a natural way of doing things, right? The same thing for you is like that's your relationship to your ice bath. It was like, I'll eat the turmeric. I can fuck with lemon. Hey, get your fucking hands in the ice. And you're like, this motherfucker, right? It's like the same thing. That's the ginger. And guess what? You don't ever want to get in the ice, right? Unless we say, Jordan, get your ass in the ice, right? You'll do it, but that's what I'm saying,
gotta
right?
be pushed.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so that's what's really it's around. Again, it's like schedules, busyness. It's not natural to be all the time doing go, 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 grind culture. That's not natural. It's like, okay, maybe sometimes I gotta push, maybe sometimes I got a little bit easier. And when you listen to your body, to Ya's credit, what happens? You just start all of a sudden losing weight. All of a sudden you start getting stronger. And don't get it twisted. She gave me the whole fucking shit. Why you want my feet out? I don't want to wear these toe things. Walking around with a motherfucking platypus foot. Right? Right. Hey, but as soon as I said, if you do this and practice this, and here's why, your booty's gonna grow. She's like, everyone shoes off, socks off, toes out. It's like this fucking bitch right here. God damn it, right? But since she's been doing it, her running's getting better. She's running faster. She's getting stronger.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it all day, every day, but let it teach you, and then you have better discernment. So, yeah. That's the deep dive of the ginger, turmeric, lemon. If you guys have any questions, we're open books, and they can kind of share with you now, kind of like what would shift or change. Again, you don't have to believe anything I'm saying. What I'm saying is, well, of course not, because you don't want to do what's natural. So now you don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right? It's like that's the Integris piece. That's why it's like, hey, I'm gonna give you guys this information. I'm gonna do the GTL every day. Y'all's fucking packing this shit up at 6 a.m. to take it to her Pat's run. Because then it's like,
I'm
But
flying
then-
through.
but the mental part is sit with those emotions, sit with the thoughts, and frame it how you frame it. It's like, do I have an unhealthy relationship with love, with compassion, with vulnerability, with acceptance, with forgiveness, with perspective, with wisdom, with communication, with responsibility, with courage, with my body, with listening, with speaking, with communicating? Like, damn, maybe I do. And I'm just so used to what's toxic or poisonous or abusive that it's now just my normal. But guess what? You strip it all away, start doing things that are natural and healthy, and then you try to introduce that back. It's like, I don't even like being around these people.
Mhm.
I don't even like talking to these people. I'm not even attracted to these type of women, or I'm not attracted to these types of men. I ain't gonna work for pennies on the dollar. I don't want to be a work situation that's draining my life. But guess what? To make those changes, God, this sucks. This is gross. Searching for a new jobs, man, that's cheeks. So I was gonna stay. I was gonna stay at this other place, which is still cheeks. So either way, it's cheeks. One way is gonna help you grow them cheeks. The other way is just taking away from the cheeks. So
It's all about the
that's
cheeks.
crazy shit. Cheeks. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. That's like saying Mac is Mac. No, it's not. We
It's
have
not.
we
You're
have
right.
Jordan
You're
mac
right.
and cheese,
Come on now.
and we have everyone else's mac and cheese.
Facts.
So cheeks is
Chickens mad.
all right, you guys. So if you have any more questions or want to go another deep dive with me, GTL, let me know. Catch me here, fucking goddamn 10 days a week. Anyways, we out. Thank you guys for being here.